Hey folks, thanks for tuning into another edition of Super J Business Hour. My name is Super J Business. Sorry I've been away for about a week. I had a couple days off. I needed some rest and relaxation just to recuperate. I worked 8 days straight, which was, let me tell you, very fun. Let's jump right into the news. It's a little mix-up of earlier this week, basically Tuesday through today, basically. And what I noticed is there's a lot. This is from the Lancaster New Era local paper. They're currently collecting. We have in this area been considered a state of emergency. President Barack Obama also put out a official state of emergency, and they've been flashing to call FEMA across the bottom of the television screens lately, and it's been absolutely ridiculous. So I don't know though. Anyway, the moral of the story is Big Bank says it will cut 30,000 jobs. Now, just like we predicted, once this guy Soros loaned $5 billion to the Bank of America, that means he gets to collect his money first and gets 10% of the dollar. And then magically, Bank of America is slashing 30,000 jobs as part of an effort to reverse a crisis of confidence among investors that has erased half of the bank's value this year. They're done, finished. Oh, well, maybe we'll just bail them out like normal. Also, what I happened to notice, which I was shocked, GOP rivals gang up on Governor Perry, and it looks like attacks from all sides by fellow Republicans. Texas Governor Rick Perry softened his rhetoric, if not his position, on Social Security in a snarky presidential campaign debate. And this was from Monday night. They did this debate. He fended off assaults on his record regarding job creation and requiring the vaccination of schoolgirls against the cancer-causing sexually transmitted virus, which we all know he was pushing for the shot Gardasil, which killed several young girls, and it's just a horrible inoculation, and then it comes to find out that the stuff doesn't even barely help you. And then we still have 9/11 stuff. It's unbelievable. And this was from Monday, the day after, and basically it goes, decades passage doesn't dim memories of what was lost. And you see this gentleman holding up the flag, and it's just absolutely ridiculous that they are using propaganda and raping the memories of these, the poor people that died and the victims' families for these idiots, to make money on newspapers. I mean, it's just embarrassing and disgusting. Oh, and remember, in case you don't want to pay attention to that, you always got good old Mr. Football over here. There you go. So you can just be dumb and throw balls at each other for millions of dollars, because there's not every freedom you've ever had isn't being taken. And then you got more parents take school bullying cases to courts. I guess now, because there's bullying, people are going to court now and taking kids to court. And you got Perry, time to speak frankly about Social Security problem. By 2037, retirees will get about 76 cents for every dollar put in unless program changes. Which is basically because there is no Social Security. They've already bankrupted all of that stuff. Yeah, your lovely government isn't telling you that they spent all that money and it's not there anymore. And then a local paper, Philadelphia Inquirer, which I believe, I'm not sure, I'm finding out that this is actually worldwide, but Roll of the Lost summons pain and memories, and it goes on to say, Elsie Goss Caldwell stood quietly at the World Trade Center Memorial Service until she heard the name of the man she still calls her baby boy, Kenneth Marcus Poloz. Her son was listed during Sunday's resuscitation of victims. The West Philadelphia resident clapped her hand over her mouth and wept. That's him. And Lori holds him close while bells sound for the first plane that crashed in 2008. The nearly 3,000 who died were read in a ritual lasting more than 4 hours long. Hope and inspiration of remembering Flight 93. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. See, there's the front of that paper. The moral of the story is 9/11 was an inside job. We already know in Ohio somewhere that they actually have proof that Flight 93 landed. It was pulled into a barracks, and then magically that information was swept under the rug and was never to be heard of again. It's absolutely ridiculous and disgusting, and I think that everyone out there should be outraged. Investigation is the least of what should be done. These people should be put in jail, and they should face what those brave people faced on a day that, whatever, they got killed for no reason. And then you got a mockery. You got this gentleman. He was on the front of several papers. There you go. Daily News, a day to remember. And he found whoever died in his family. And it just goes on to say, I pray that our Heavenly Father may assuage the anguish of your bereavement and leave you only the cherished memory of the loved and the lost, and the solemn pride that must be yours to have laid so costly a sacrifice upon the altar of freedom. And that's actually Abraham Lincoln in a letter to mother, reported to have lost 5 sons in the Civil War, read by ex-President George W. Bush yesterday. And I just think it's disgusting that George W. Bush could even be allowed to read something like that. Yeah, it was on the New York Post too. Dad finds son named a new 9/11 memorial. And I just think it's horrifying that one of the main contributors and inside job people, George Bush, who knew that those planes were going to crash into the towers, has the balls to even stand up there and read something like that. And I just think it's horrifying and disgusting. And I think that everyone needs to wake up and not only call for a new investigation, demand it. And then you got, after 10 years, names and memories echo. Of course, the stock market is in the toilet. Market swings are becoming new standard, looking for lessons in volatile trading. Investors brace as the Europe crisis flares up again because their dollar is going in the toilet. And also we have now, some proof that Jacqueline Kennedy with President John F. Kennedy in 1962, 2 years later she sat for 8.5 hours of interviews in tapes candid talk by young Kennedy widow. And we already know that she admitted, see that at the bottom? We already know, and that was from the New York Times, folks. That was Monday's New York Times. And we already know that she thinks that President Lyndon Johnson had something to do with it. We know he had something to do with it. It was a complete inside job as well. And just absolutely disgusting that these things can take place in a beautiful country like this and that our government has been stolen. USA Day for Tuesday, GOP debate tests third rail of politics, and rhetoric sharpens as Romney grills Perry over Social Security, and they just don't show Ron Paul. Where is Ron Paul? Obama trials fight for moderation. Poll shows gapping divide between faithful and switchers. And basically nobody wants Obama again, which I would assume would be the smart thing since he's lied to all of us. And it just keeps going and going and going, and more lies. Will Jobs' plan work? Area Business Group have doubts because he has this new job thing, and it's just ridiculous. We need to get Ron Paul in as president. We need a real president, and enough should be enough. You had that really big fuel explosion in Nairobi in Africa, and that's a picture from the New York Times where that happened. And many died, and I'm sure we'll go raid them anyway, so they probably saved themselves a lot of headaches by having a bomb go off rather than us dropping a bomb on them. And then they got this idiot's picture. Perry comes under fire because everyone's talking about how he was attacked at the GOP, and there his dumbass is. He deserves to be attacked, and he needs to be called on what's already called on. Are alpha males healthy? And that's what they're talking about now. Are males healthy? And they're not healthy mentally, because mentally they're more worried about football than they are their freedom and their government. And we'll take a quick look at the Wall Street Journal. And Bank of America's chief executive Brian Moynihan announced a $5 billion cost reduction. And those are the 30,000 jobs we were talking about. They're going to cut 30,000 jobs. Obama detailed tax increases to pay for a jobs plan. So he's going to put more taxes on everybody. Gaddafi loyalists attacked, and they're attacking people, and they keep saying the war is going to be over in Libya, and then it just keeps continuing. Nuclear waste furnace exploded in France, killing one person. No radioactive or chemical leaks occurred, the power company said. Just like Fukushima, except they're lying to you, and yes, radioactive stuff is everywhere, and it's absolutely disgusting and crazy. And it's just horrible, and it just keeps going and going and going. All bad news. The USDA plans to add 6 types of E. coli to a list of alterants banned from raw beef sold in stores. So they're going after food, folks, because they want to be in control of your food. They want to be in control of everything. That's why they're raiding Amish for raw milk, which happens to be the best milk you could possibly drink for yourself and actually get some nutrition out of it, unlike the boiled, pasteurized milk that they sell to you and try to tell you that it's good for you. Taliban attacked U.S. embassy in Kabul. Teams of insurgents firing rocket-propelled grenades and automatic weapons struck at the U.S. Embassy, NATO headquarters, and other buildings in the heart of the Afghan capital Tuesday. Now, wait a minute. Isn't that funny? Because isn't the Taliban and Al-Qaeda the ones that we were just supporting in Libya as the rebels? Aha! So it's okay when we want to take over a country to use them, and then when we don't, it's not okay. So I don't get it, folks. What is happening? First Al-Qaeda is good, then they're bad. Which one is it? It's because they can't make up their minds, because we run Al-Qaeda. The CIA is the one who made Al-Qaeda. And it's time to wake up, folks. And, in this area, we're still talking about the storm. People really got hurt bad in the storm, and it just got out of control. And I just want to know when people say enough's enough, vows of support and persistent anxiety. China links investment in Europe with its own agenda for trade. Leaders of Germany and France reiterate their commitment to Greece. And it's just one big joke, and one day soon they're going to come out and say we need a one-world currency and a one-world new order, just like Bush Sr. used to talk about all the time. And then you see this stuff, but it's okay that we back, see that? Yeah, that's Palestine and Israel. They're going at it again. And we'll always back Israel for some strange reason. And I just wonder when enough is enough. When turning off Facebook and turning off your football will come to mind, and you'll be ready to stand up and fight for your country and actually take this seriously. It's time for us as Americans to stand together, say hello to your neighbors. Check out Infowars.com, Prison Planet TV, or check out all my other uploads. I have great news, predictions, and all kinds of wonderful stuff that everybody should know, and it's time to wake up and tell your friends and family the truth. I think the best way we can serve the victims, families of 9/11 is by having the truth come out and stop playing this game of believing a blatant lie. It's time, folks. It's time to stand up. It's time to wake up, and it's time to do the right thing. As one, we can all remain anonymous and still, dictate what happens in our lives and regain our freedoms instead of being scared of a terrorist or terror or war on drugs, war on terror. It's always a war on something. How about no more war? How about we cut the nonsense out, we bring the troops home, we protect our country, and we continue to fix people and homes and get to know each other and do the right thing for once instead of killing everybody and being the world's police state. So I ask everyone to please wake up, stand together, and everybody just, get the truth out, talk to your friends and family, and let's make some positive changes in this country and wake up, because hiding from the truth isn't going to get it. This has been another edition of the Super J Business Hour. I'm going to end here. We will be back with some updated news tomorrow. I'm going to I have work starting back tomorrow, so I will get some more papers and more news, and we'll be back tomorrow for another edition. In the meantime, a quick story. I went to a Halloween shop today, and I saw the V for Vendetta mask, and I just thought that it was great. And as you can see, I have one behind me, and I bought one too. I bought another one. We bought two. I plan on hopefully attending some protests and maybe, whatever we can get into to just try to get some more freedom for us and get our country back instead of these bankers robbing and stealing and lying like mainstream media and newspapers and these news outlets that just continually lie. So I suggest everybody mask up and get ready for the revolution. It's here, it's time, and thanks for tuning in. Peace in the Middle East, peace in America, and this is another edition of Super J Business Hour, and we will be back tomorrow. See you then.